Jackfruit, and Jackfruit once again. What's up, 23% Nation? This is your man, Coach D. Today, I'm back with fruit of the day, the one and only jackfruit. So maybe you've never heard of this fruit before. Maybe you've never even seen it. Maybe you have no idea what it even tastes like or even smells like. Or maybe you absolutely love jackfruit. Well, whatever the case may be, please listen and watch on. Why? Because we're about to dive just a little deeper into the wonderful world of the jackfruit. All right, first up, a little bit of background information. Jackfruit grows on the branches and trunks of the jackfruit tree, and the average weight of the fruit itself is 10 to 25 pounds. Wow, take a look at the picture, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see, we have a tree with a whole bunch of jackfruits hanging off of it. Belonging to the mulberry family and thought to have originated in India, it is exceptional when it comes to nutrition. Now, as far as its nutritional content is concerned, we'll definitely discuss that in a few more slides, so please watch on. To maximize this profitable yet to be fully used resource, the tree itself provides high-quality, rot-resistant timber for furniture and musical instruments. Interesting. So for those of us who love plush sofas and maybe you enjoy playing a musical instrument, well, believe it or not, the wood may have actually come from the jackfruit tree. So there we have it, guys, a little bit of background information about the one and only jackfruit. All right. Now it's time for a few fun facts. The jackfruit is the largest tree fruit in the world. I'll say that again. The jackfruit is the largest tree fruit in the world, reaching up to 100 pounds. Now, for those of us who can't quite imagine a fruit weighing 100 pounds, well, take a look at the picture. As you can see, there is someone cutting the jackfruit, and it is sizable. Interesting. This amazing fruit can be found fresh or canned. Of course, if choosing canned jackfruit, make sure there aren't any added sugars or preservatives. Instead, look for young jackfruit found in water and brine. Interesting. If buying it fresh, which I recommend, make sure to get a ripe jackfruit. To do this, look for yellower skin with spikes that have softened. Just apply gentle pressure to make sure it gives a little. Another sign that it's ready to eat is its musky fragrance, which should be rather distinctive. You can also buy one that's green and firm and allow it to sit in a window or on your counter until it has reached the recommended ripeness. So there we have it, guys. We now know exactly what to look for and also what to smell for, believe it or not. So for those of us who are new to the world of the jackfruit, well, Coach D is here to help you out just a little bit. So there we have it, guys, a few fun facts about the one and only jackfruit. All right, more fun facts. Many vegans, use jackfruit as a meat substitute since it contains a pulled pork-like consistency. Ripe jackfruit contains a flavor similar to a banana and the look of mango, but is rather mild. Now, take a look at the picture. As you can see, the inside is rather stringy, so that would, I guess, represent its pulled pork-like consistency. And also, ladies and gentlemen, if you're new to the world of plants and you're missing meat, well, as the text just reads, this could become a substitute for meat. That's right. So there we have it, guys. A few more fun facts about the one and only jackfruit. Now it's time for some not so fun facts. If you're pregnant or breastfeeding, ladies, take caution since jackfruit is somewhat new to the U.S. market and needs to be further investigated. If you have an allergy to birch pollen, you may experience an allergic reaction to jackfruit. So take caution. Though it may help reduce levels of blood sugar, diabetics should be cautious. You may experience drowsiness if using certain medications while consuming it. It may be best to stop consuming any form of this fruit prior to surgery. So there we have it, guys. If you are pregnant, breastfeeding, or diabetic, please be careful of your jackfruit consumption. So there we have it, a few not so fun facts about the one and only jackfruit. All right, it's time to talk about the 520 rule. Ladies and gentlemen, the 520 rule is all about food labels. That's right, it helps us to understand and read food labels. Basically, it's a guide. It's a guide that lets us know whether or not a food or beverage item is a good source or not a good source of any particular nutrient. Now, when we talk about the 520 rule, really what we're talking about is percent daily value, abbreviated percent DV. Now, let's take a look at our picture, or shall I say sample food label, which is divided into 3 parts. We have the purple portion, the yellow portion, and then we have the blue portion. So let's go portion by portion, shall we? First, take a look at the percent daily value column. Now, as you can see, percent daily value, or percent DV, is represented as a percentage. Now, I want to let you know that these percentages can be as low as 0% to as high as 100%. However, there are some rare cases where the percent DV actually exceeds 100%, but again, it's rare. Now, let's take a look at the yellow portion. The yellow portion basically highlights a few nutrients such as saturated fat, trans fat, cholesterol, and sodium that unfortunately do a really good job at promoting disease within the body temple. So if anything, you want to make sure that the percent DV for each of those nutrients is definitely as close to 0% as possible. Now, let's take a look at the blue portion. The blue portion, unlike the yellow portion, does just the opposite. Rather than promote disease, sickness, and illness, the blue nutrients actually promote wellness and health within the body temple. That's right. So when it comes to dietary fiber, vitamin A, vitamin C, calcium, and iron, which basically represent all vitamins and minerals, you definitely want to be sure that whatever you're consuming, whether it's food or beverage, that the percent DV for those nutrients are as close to 100% as possible. Now, let's dive just a little deeper into the 520 rule. If a food or beverage item offers anywhere from 0% to 9% DV of any particular nutrient, then that food or beverage item is considered not a good source of that particular nutrient. Next, if the food or beverage item offers 10% to 19% DV, then that food or beverage item is considered a good source of that particular nutrient. Lastly, if the food or beverage item offers 20% DV or greater, then that food or beverage item is considered an excellent source of that particular nutrient. So there we have it, guys, the ins and outs about the 520 rule. All right, it's time to dive into the nutrition facts of the jackfruit. So for today's lecture, we're going to simply say that a single serving is equivalent to 1 cup of raw jackfruit. So here's what we're going to get once we put 1 cup of raw jackfruit into our bodies. 155 calories, 39.6 grams of carbs. Look at this, 2.4 grams of protein. And this is, I guess, for all the people who think that fruit doesn't contain protein. Well, it does. Also, 0.5 grams of fat. And check this out, 2.6 grams of fiber. Nice. Next up is vitamin C coming in at 18% DV, good source. Manganese coming in at 16% DV, good source. Then there's copper coming in at 15% DV, good source. Next is magnesium coming in at 15% DV, good source. Potassium, 14% DV, good source. Riboflavin, 11% DV, good source. Vitamin A coming in at 10% DV, good source. Next up is vitamin B6 coming in at only 9% DV, not a good source. Folate, 6% DV, not a good source. Calcium, 6% DV, not a good source. And then we have iron and phosphorus, each coming in at 6% DV, not a good source. And lastly is zinc coming in at only 5% DV, not a good source. Now, a lot of you may say, well, Coach D, it doesn't have a good source of quite a few of those vitamins and minerals. Well, guys, here's what you got to understand, is that this is just a single serving, which is equivalent to 1 cup, right? So if you want more folate, more calcium, more iron, more phosphorus, more zinc, It's easy. Just eat more jackfruit. Okay? So there we have it, guys. The nutrition facts about the one and only jackfruit. All right, it's time to dive into the health benefits of jackfruit. But before we do, I want to offer you this. Ladies and gentlemen, when we talk about the health benefits, really we have to dive into the principle of cause and effect. Now, some of us may already be familiar with the principle of cause and effect, while others may not be. So here we go. The principle of cause and effect is one of these 7 Hermetic principles. Basically, it states that every cause has its effect and every effect has its cause. There really is no such thing as chance, luck, or even coincidence. In other words, everything happens for a reason. That being said, the reason why I bring this up is because if you want to be healthy, well, you have to cause it. And it's the same thing with disease. Even though you may not realize it, you are causing the disease. So for this slide, I want to basically let you know what the benefit is, or shall we say the effect, but then I also want to let you know what the cause is, or we can say the phytonutrient that is responsible, right? So benefit number 1 is that jackfruit enhances immunity and may help fight cancer. Now the question is, which phytonutrient causes this, or which phytonutrient is responsible? Well, there are a few. Number 1, vitamin C. Number 2, lignans. Number 3, isoflavones. And number 4, saponins. Number 2, the second benefit is that jackfruit strengthens our bones. How nice. Well, we can thank magnesium for that. Benefit number 3, jackfruit helps reduce the risk of diabetes. Perfect. Well, we can thank magnesium for that as well. Benefit number 4, jackfruit reduces the risk of cardiovascular disease. Oh, how amazing is that? Now the question is, which phytonutrient causes this? Well, say hello to vitamin B6. Benefit number 5, jackfruit improves digestion. Amazing. So the question is, which phytonutrient causes that? Well, say hello to fiber. And the last benefit is that jackfruit aids in preventing osteoporosis. Great job. So the question is, which phytonutrients are responsible? Well, say hello to magnesium and calcium. So there we have it, guys. A few health benefits from the one and only jackfruit. All right, it's time to talk about food. It's time for us to go to our website for everything vegan. Say hello to forksoverknives.com. By the way, there is a movie entitled Forks Over Knives, and I highly recommend you watch it. So, as usual, I went to the website, did just a little bit of research on jackfruit, and look at what I found. 2 amazing vegan jackfruit recipes that I want to share with you right now. So the first one is entitled Jackfruit Tamales. Take a look at the picture. Looks delicious. The second recipe that I want to share with you is Chipotle Jackfruit Tacos. Take a look at that picture. Looks scrumptious. Now, if you're like me, you probably are already hungry and you are ready to eat. Well, if that's you, then all I ask is that you click on the description box. Why? Because I'm providing you with a direct link to each recipe. That's right. So do me a favor. Click on the link, make them, taste them, come back to the video and share your thoughts about these recipes. Did the food taste good? Was it easy? Was it expensive? Let us know. So there we have it, guys. Not 1, but 2 amazing vegan jackfruit recipes from forksoverknives.com. All right, 23% Nation, I hear you. A lot of you say, well, Coach D, thanks for the recipes. Coach D, thanks for the fun facts and the nutrition facts. But what I really want to know is, when should I eat more jackfruit? Well, guys, if that's your question, then I got to tell you that the perfect day to eat more jackfruit is Nature Day. What? Nature Day? Oh, yes, good old Nature Day. Guys, Nature Day happens to be the first day of the 23% challenge. Now, maybe you know nothing about the challenge. Well, in a nutshell, here we go. The 23% challenge is a 7-day monthly wellness program. It's designed to help improve your health, your wealth, your relationships. Oh, and it also helps to save good old planet Earth. Now, here's the thing about the challenge. Number 1, it's monthly, meaning month after month. Number 2, it's only 7 days. As a matter of fact, it's the first 7 days of every single month. That's right, the first all the way through the 7th. Now, here's the thing. Nature Day is the first day of the challenge, which basically means that Nature Day is the first day of every month. That's right. So, whether it's January 1st, March 1st, or even December 1st, it's always Nature Day. Now, perhaps you're interested in learning more about Nature Day. Perhaps you're interested in eating more plants. Or maybe you've been stricken with the big four, meaning obesity, heart disease, cancer, and type 2 diabetes. Maybe you have digestive issues like constipation, or maybe you have skin problems like really bad acne and pimples. Well, if that's you, then I believe I've kind of created a way to help you ease into a more whole food, plant-based style of eating. Well, let's take baby steps first. So how about you only eat plant foods before 12 p.m.? After 12 p.m., you can eat whatever you want. Or how about only eating plant foods after 12 p.m., meaning before 12 p.m., you can eat whatever you want. Okay? So those are the baby steps. Now, for those of us who are a little more committed, well, try this. Try becoming a 3% vegan. Now, what is that? Well, it's anyone, man, woman, or child, who only eats plant foods and drinks only water only 1 day out of an entire month. Next up is a 10% vegan. Now, that's a person who only eats plant foods and drinks only water only 3 days out of an entire month. Next up is a 17% vegan. Now, that's any person who only eats plant foods and drinks only water only 5 days out of an entire month. And lastly is the ultimate 23% vegan. Now, technically, that's what Coach D considers himself. So let's talk about that just a little more. So 23% vegan simply means that you eat plant foods and drink only water the first 7 days of every single month. Now, the question may be, well, which plant foods are you eating? Well, I only eat from the 5 food groups of plant foods, and they happen to be fruits, vegetables and herbs, nuts and seeds, legumes, meaning beans and peas, and we cannot forget about whole grains. And of course, I only drink water. So there we have it, guys, the ins and outs about Nature Day. All right, now, maybe you're motivated, maybe you're inspired and empowered to eat more plants. If so, that's great. Mission accomplished. So what I want to do now is I want to offer you a few of Coach D's tips. Why? Because I want your Nature Day to be successful. Tip number 1, go to your local grocery store. Now, when you get there, you're going to go to 3 places. Number 1, you're going to go to the produce section. Why? Because that's where they have all of the fresh plant foods. Number 2, go to the freezer aisle. Why? Because that's where they have all of the frozen plant foods. And number 3, go to the canned goods aisle. Why? Because that's where they have all of the canned plant foods. Now, a lot of you may be wondering, well, Coach D, what's best? Fresh, frozen, or canned? Well, I'll put them in this order. Number 1 is fresh. Number 2 is frozen. And number 3 is canned. Tip number 2, go check out the prepared dishes section of your local grocery store. So once you're done with the produce aisle, the freezer aisle, and the canned goods aisle, walk on over to the prepared dishes section and ask them if they have any vegan, not vegetarian options. Providing they do, ask for a quick sample. Don't worry, it's free. Then if you like it, then either get it by the pound or maybe even 2, maybe even 3 pounds if you really, really, really like it. Tip number 3, go visit your local farmer's market. Now, this is especially true for those of us who must eat organic produce, right? Now, the thing is, farmers markets only cater to the organic market. That's right. So if you have to have organic fruits, organic vegetables, then please visit your local farmers market. Tip number 4, go visit your local vegan restaurant. Now, a lot of us may not even know that vegan restaurants exist. Well, Coach D is here to let you know that they actually do. Now, in order to find one, all you have to do is go to Google, type in vegan restaurants near me, and within less than half of a second, Google will give you your desired results. One of the most amazing things about vegan restaurants is that they hire vegan chefs who basically not only know how to cook plant foods, but they also know which plant foods to combine to yield the most nutritious, delicious dishes. Tip number 5. And this is for those of us who don't like to cook plant foods. This is for those of us who don't want to cook plant foods. This is for those of us who don't know how to cook plant foods, right? Well, I suggest getting a subscription to a vegan meal prep company. It's easy. Here's how it works. They make the food, they deliver the food, you eat the food. It's just that simple. If you haven't heard of them before, do a Google search, vegan meal prep companies near me, right? So there we have it, guys. 5 amazing tips to help make your nature day successful. All right, 23% Nation, it's time for our question of the day, which is, the jackfruit is the largest tree fruit in the world, reaching up to blank pounds. Now, I believe I covered that earlier in the lecture, so if you didn't get it, then simply rewind. Nice. And please write your answer in the comment box below. Guys, I want to thank you for watching. I definitely want to thank you for listening. As always, let's eat well, feel well, think well, do well, be well. This is your man, Coach D. Now, before I sign off, I got to ask you to please subscribe, like, and share the video, especially if you love jackfruit. And don't forget to use our 3-word mantra. It's hashtag eat more plants. As stated earlier, my name is Coach D. I'm signing out. Always remember to take care, God bless, and never ever forget that Coach D loves you.